this!
Hello, welcome back to another episode of the Kaiju Krunch Report, the only news that gets stuck between your teeth. Today we'll be talking about the only big news there is, the second King of the Monsters trailer. And look, everyone's here! We got Godzilla, Mothmom, Three-Face, and we got Birdo here. I swear next time my setup's gonna be changed. I can't even, like, what's the point of wearing these top shirts if I can't even get them in the frame? Working with limited space is awesome. So as most of you probably already know, the second trailer for the upcoming Godzilla King of the Monsters came out about 3 weeks ago. One day I'll be on time. So let's talk about it. It was great! I kid, of course. About the ending of the episode, not the great part. Now, I've gotten a bit of trailer fatigue over the last few years. They keep dropping so many that I have to put last trailer in the title. Yeesh. And sometimes they end up giving away all the surprises. You know half the movie before you even get there, so... But despite that, I found myself compelled, if you will, to watch it. What can I say? I've got quite the erection for kaiju, if you know what I mean. Now, I'm not going to do an entire breakdown, okay? I'm not going to go over, like, scene by scene this trailer. We're just going to go over some bits, some bits of the trailer, some important parts, and some other parts that no one will stop talking about. Which means if you haven't seen it yet...
What's wrong with you?
So in the first trailer, we were greeted to a beautiful rendition of Claire de Lune, I probably screwed that up, and presented with what I felt like an exquisite work of art. Second trailer comes in like Arnold Schwarzenegger and Carl Weathers handshaking while shooting waves of xenomorphs exploding like a Michael Bay film on top of a fighter jet with harnessing the power of old space! Which is to say, holy
Shin Godzilla.
I think I'm trailer sexual now. We've got a kaiju looking menacing, Billy Bobby Brown calling out for help, Sarazawa saying Godzilla won't be our pet, we would be his, and can I just say that with a slightly weird smile, is that what you're into, Sarazawa? Guess I don't really have much room to talk, you know. So, what are you doing later? We get to see more action shots with Rodan doing a little barrel roll. Mothra coming in with some fierce eyes and fiercer little pincers. She's so cute. And Ghidorah squaring off against the big G. Well, I guess I can't really say that since Ghidorah technically is the bigger G, so, okay. And the G cubed squaring off against the lesser than G. No, that's too mathematical. Okay. Three neck boys size up a big Liz boy. I don't understand what I wrote. All in all, I enjoyed this trailer immensely. They showed off more of the intense action that I know a lot of fans are craving for. Some of the shots showing the scale of these kaiju are amazing. It gives you the feeling of being like an ant watching real giants duke it out. Plus, this trailer gives some promising bits that have led to a lot of speculation. Now, despite the glowing praise I'm piling on, the trailer does have one glaring problem. That's nothing! At least that's in my opinion. Some in the community do feel a little less enthusiastic, with complaints of Godzilla running in the last part of the trailer as he goes head-to-head with Ghidorah, and Mothra having little tiny pincers. Well, being the highly trained, educated professional that I am, I have a very well-thought-out rebuttal for these very reasonable complaints. Fuck you. Seriously, have you seen the original Mothra vs. Godzilla where they sped up the footage for no reason? Or how about the classic gravity-defying double flying kick? And who could forget the amazing Goji dance of 65 and the atomic breath jet? And when he banged your mom? The point is, the Big G in his very long film career has done a lot of crazy, weird, and just plain zany things. This little bit isn't anything to get into tizzy about. Especially since he wasn't really running if you actually pay attention. As for Mothra, she really hasn't had that many forms of attack her whole life. Usually she just slams into another kaiju or uses stun spore. And even then, she never really does a lot of damage! It's nice to see her get some extra offensive capabilities. I mean, just look at her. She looks like she's ready to stab a bitch. Like some little bitches that complain about everything. Though I'm not one to talk, I have had my fair share of complaints, and I like to bitch. Now that we're done with the positives and the negatives, let's talk about what everyone loves to hear, the unknown, the unconfirmed theories. And there are plenty of them. Now, don't get me wrong, I do like to theorize from time to time about, you know, certain things in movies and whatnot, but sometimes you just get bombarded with them, and you just want them to stop. The first one is the biggest and honestly not really annoying because there is obviously some speculation, some stuff to speculate on. The scenes that show a kaiju emerging from the ground and from underneath a hill/mountain. The biggest theories going around are that these two are Anguirus or Baragon for the mountain and Kamonga or Kamacuras for the ground. Most likely Kamonga, since these look like more segmented legs than Kamacuras, since Kamacuras is just a giant praying mantis. And this one is probably more like Anguirus, since, let's be real guys, no one ever remembers Baragon. Even the movie that brought him back to the spotlight forgot his name in the title. Leave an F in the comments to pay respects for the good boy. Now I think these are two very fine theories, and they do make some sense, if you don't think about them. We have confirmation the Legendaries got the rights to the big three, big four if you include Goji. There's been no confirmation of any kind that I've seen, that I've scoured, that they have any other rights to any other kaiju. More than likely, these are probably going to be original kaiju that Legendary creates. Honestly, it would be a waste of money for them to acquire more rights to monsters that probably aren't going to have much screen time at all. Now don't get me wrong, I would love to see more old school kaiju, but it just doesn't make a lot of sense financially. I personally don't have any theories on what they might be, but another channel by the name of Kaiju Network actually has a pretty interesting theory on his channel. I would recommend it. I've never really talked to him. This isn't a shout out. Like, this isn't like some cross promotion thing, but I've looked at his channel a bit, and he does a lot of like upcoming kaiju news, and he seems to be on the up and up, and he actually gets his stuff up on time. And his thumbnails are actually made so you know what's news or speculation. Something I wish a lot of others would do as I lead into some other theories and problems that have spawned from this trailer. So there are two other biggish theories going around. This shot of some most likely kaiju falling from the sky engulfed in flames, and this close-up shot of a kaiju walking engulfed in flames. Now the theories are a little more sketchy with these. The two most plausible ones going around are, this is Rodan descending into the fight, you know, fighting like Ghidorah or whatever, and this is possibly a shot of burning Godzilla. Honestly, I don't know. The Rodan makes sense. It's not really a big thing there. I'm pretty sure that's Rodan. And that being burning Godzilla also makes sense. I'm just more skeptical on the burning Godzilla part. But if I had to make a bet, that's what I'd probably put it on. For those who don't know what burning Godzilla is, he's a form of Godzilla. I use form sort of loosely. It's, you know, that appeared in 1995 film Godzilla vs. Destroyer, where Godzilla's heart is having a nuclear meltdown and will eventually explode, taking most of the planet with him, if something isn't done. It also has the side effect of turning his atomic breath red, and spiraled, and several times stronger than normal. You can call it Godzilla's like Kaioken or Super Saiyan form, if you will. Now, I don't think either of these are too crazy. Both are within the realm of reason. But I want to bring up the Rodan one. Why, Professor? Why bring that one up? That's the most mundane one. What's the problem with that one? Well, you would think it's the most mundane one. Well, there's an article on Screen Rant stating that obviously this means Legendary is confirming Ghidorah's space origins. That Ghidorah is from space. Obviously! For those of you who don't know, Ghidorah's original origin is he's from space. Now, I don't know who saw this and immediately connected these dots, but my god, you're reaching further than the new anime Ghidorah, pal. And it's not just them. There have been several videos I've seen with misleading thumbnails on YouTube, and they make it look like they have confirmation on these theories, that they're not just theories. Okay? If it's speculation, that's fine. Okay? Just make sure that you're clear in your video, or maybe even make a gag in the thumbnail, so people know that it's a little bit more, a little less serious, you know? And I've watched a couple of these videos, and they're not like 100% clear. Like, you kind of have to really listen to it, but I'm afraid that like someone who doesn't know anything about Godzilla and these movies, because some of us stay on top of these movies pretty regularly. You know, I wasn't, like, several years ago, I wasn't as much. I didn't do, like, social media like I do now. But, like, I stay on top of this stuff on Twitter all the time. I follow a bunch of people who know what they're talking about. So, like, when I see these things and people talking about these things, I'm, like, immediately, like, this doesn't seem right, because I haven't seen anyone else talk about it. But some normal person might come to this channel, watch this video, you know, see all the views that they have on this video, and see the subscriber count, and just be like, aha, this is someone who knows what they're talking about. And then be completely fooled by the video. And leave thinking they're smarter, when in fact, they're even dumber. Or not. I'm not an expert on these kinds of things, you know. I might be wrong. What I'm not wrong on is kaiju-related content. And let me tell you, this movie looks awesome, okay? And for the sake of the Godzilla fandom, and possible new fans to come, this movie had better not suck, please. My heart can't take it. And we've got a bonus story. There's been a petition going around to get a remastered collection of 3 older Godzilla games. Godzilla Destroys All Monsters, Godzilla Save the Earth, and Godzilla Unleashed. I played at least one of those. All were developed by the company Pipeworks, who have stated on Twitter that if enough interest is shown, they are down with the idea of remastering them. Even artist Matt Frank, known for his work on the IDW Godzilla series, especially Godzilla Rulers of the Earth, has stated that he would be willing to work on some reversible game covers. And I'm usually on the fence about these petitions, guys. You know, a lot of them, like, what's the point? But there's been a lot of interest on this one. It's had over 7,000 signatures as last time as of this recording. Plus, Pipeworks has actually shown interest, so that shows something. You know, one of the parties is interested. Though I don't think there's been any word from Atari, who actually published the games and own the rights. But hey, it could happen. Especially since they've already said if enough interest is shown, you know, so if we get enough interest going, something might actually come of it, guys. And it would be cool coming together as like a group and actually signing, you know, getting something done. You know, that would be cool. So I'll leave a link in the description. If you haven't signed the petition, you want to take a look at it, to go ahead. Because I've heard from a bunch of people that some of these games are pretty good Godzilla games, you know. Take that as you will. Because, to be honest, I know that Godzilla games don't have a high bar, unfortunately. Anyway, that's all I've got. That's been Professor Kaiju with the Kaiju Krunch Report. I'll see you at some point. Godzilla, Mothman, Face, and we got